What's up, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? Boogie2988 coming at you live once again through the power of the internet. And for the past few years, I've certainly defended Sony. And the reason I've defended Sony is because they have definitely been doing the right thing and getting things right. But I said, mark my words, when Sony starts messing up, both me and Francis will be here to call them on their shit. Well, they are messing up in spades, without just beyond the shadow of a doubt. And it's definitely time to start doing that. Now, throughout this console generation, Sony has definitely been the most consumer-friendly almost every step of the way, producing the better machine, having the better policies, doing the right thing for the consumers. Somewhere along the lines, they started tripping up, I guess about 2 years ago. They made a minor mistake here, a minor mistake there. It was very rarely big enough for me to really talk about. So it was, stuff that I felt was minor and I didn't really worry about. But this last week, we have seen them stumbling over their own feet again and again and again. Obviously, there was the semi-disaster that is No Man's Sky, a game that I still put nearly 40 hours into and enjoyed, but I definitely understand not everybody did, and it certainly wasn't the game that we were promised. Then you have the very disappointing experience with the PS Pro and all kinds of stuff surrounding that, and I will talk a little bit about that tonight. The primary thing I want to talk about here is the fact that the PlayStation 4 version of Fallout 4 will be the only system without modding capabilities, making it the inferior copy. So a little bit of information has come out talking about No Man's Sky and the reason it got delayed. That having to do with the policies and the systems that they have in place over at PlayStation, making that game getting delayed because it wasn't passing Q&A tests along that lines. That's one of the rumors I've heard. I cannot deny or confirm it here. That's just something that I've heard. Then when you have the PlayStation Pro, they're talking about not really competing with the Scorpio. What they are trying to do is compete with the PC market. They don't look at the people that they consider to be behind them. They only look at the people that are ahead. I mean, that's crazy talk. That is crazy talk because the PlayStation 4 Pro is the equivalent of a now 4 or 5 year old PC. It is definitely not how you compete with PC gaming or anything close, and that's another disaster. But I really think that now that we've learned there will no longer be mods on the PlayStation 4 version of Fallout 4, there will no longer be mods on the definitive version of Skyrim on PlayStation. While it's already been available on Xbox, will be available on Xbox when it comes to Skyrim, already been available on PC since the game launched. This is a fucking disaster. Now, Bethesda has come out this weekend and said that we are ready to put mods on the PlayStation 4. It is the folks at PlayStation that are keeping this from happening. And this all ties back to No Man's Sky getting delayed. This probably even ties into the PlayStation Pro being a bit of a dud. It all comes down to what I've been told is archaic policies over there and the way that they do things at PlayStation. The policies get in the way and they keep great shit from being great and they make good shit kind of awful. And it's these policies that are keeping mods from showing up on PlayStation and all. I have a few theories as to what those policies are. So the first thing you need to keep in mind is how consoles make their money. They basically create this walled garden. The Xbox, the PlayStation, the Wii U. These devices are walled gardens, and obviously they're going to put their own games inside of those walled gardens so you can buy them and play them on that system. But if somebody else wants to publish a game on their system, they have to pay licensing fees, and these licensing fees can be huge percentages of the sales of that game, or it could be a flat fee, or it could be, even in some cases, nearly free. But there's always some sort of license that has to be negated for, and it can be as much as 30 or 40% of the total sales to get that license. Then one of the things they use those licensing fees for is to apply a quality assurance system to make sure that the game runs and it runs well. And this also applies to any time they want to patch the game. We've recently heard that it could be as much as $40,000 to pay for the quality assurance to be applied to a new patch. So it's very expensive to put a patch out on consoles. Certainly not the case on PC. But that's really how they make their money, is these policies forcing the developers to jump through these hoops and pay that percentage. That's how they make their cash. And that is apparently the reason No Man's Sky got delayed to begin with. I'm still surprised that game passed quality assurance, especially the launch version. The launch version wasn't that bad, but damn, it was lacking in gameplay. So keeping that in mind and looking at the press release that Bethesda put out saying that there will never be mods on the PlayStation 4, that they've tried to work it out with Sony, and Sony is basically being too rigid. We can basically assume that these particular policies, whether it's the quality assurance or the fees to be paid, made it not favorable or profitable or even worth the hassle for Bethesda to put that on their system. And that's something you would think that Sony would be very eager to do, because obviously the PC versions of these games have mods since day one. The Xbox version has had mods since just a few months after it launched, and there's been no issues over there at Xbox. They really, really do not want to have the worst version of a Bethesda game. That's actually really fucking sad. But regardless of what specific policy it is that's keeping PlayStation from making this happen, whatever that policy is, they really should have either looked at bending the rules or changing the rules in their entirety here. There's no reason to have the inferior product if you don't want to. Having the superior product is what has kept them on top throughout this console generation and should have kept them on top right up until the end. This is a huge mistake, and I think it definitely shows the current direction of what PlayStation is doing. To be frank, I think they have rested on their laurels for quite some time. I think they firmly got their heads up their asses right now, and they need to get their shit together if they want to continue to beat Xbox, but more importantly, if they want to even remotely compare to the sales we're seeing in PC gaming now. PC gaming is skyrocketing. Even some of the most devout PC or console players are hopping over to PC. Sucks to see that, but then again, I told you so. And it's so weird here in the middle of this console cycle that we are seeing such an incredible role reversal. You know, originally it was Microsoft at the beginning of this generation that seemed like the company that was completely out of touch, but they have really gotten into touch, whether it's wooing PC gamers or bringing their exclusives to the PC Windows Store, or whether it's all the peripherals they've created or the new consoles, versions of the consoles they're generating. They're really, really doing what gamers want. In the meantime, you've got PlayStation over there doing the opposite. They started off as the pro-consumer, pro-awesome company that really got gamers, and somewhere along the way, they forgot what we wanted and forgot what we wanted them to do. I think it could be easier for them to pick it back up. But will they? Time will tell. Basically, what PlayStation is doing is they're pushing their users into the PC gaming market, while Microsoft is not only keeping their current consumers, but they're actually enticing people from PlayStation and enticing people from PlayStation as well. There's a lot of good reasons, if you're a PC player, to go ahead and buy an Xbox Scorpio when it comes out. A lot of damn good reasons. Very few reasons to buy a PlayStation 4 Pro, unless you want a gimped PC that runs a lot slower than anything you could buy on the shelf at Best Buy. And that's the state of console gaming right now, and it's really, really weird because Microsoft is acting all sucky-uppy, and PlayStation is making me look a fool. Because it doesn't matter how you want to play video games. If you guys want to play it in the nice open plains that is PC gaming or the walled gardens of console gaming, it's up to you. You should play however you want to play, even if it's just on mobile phones flicking Candy Crush everywhere. That's fine by me. I do not judge you. But I do judge PlayStation very, very harshly. I feel very badly because a lot of the people that are in walled garden right now are not being treated very kindly or very nicely or very pro-consumer. And that sucks because I sent a lot of you there. And it makes me look like a fucking idiot. So, I don't know. Guys, if I've seen a little spacey this video, if the pacing is weird, or the timing is weird, or the way I'm talking is weird, I have to apologize. I'm on a new medicine, and that medicine is messing with my brain quite a bit. I'm afraid to mention it because the last video I mentioned it in got marked as not ad-friendly because I mentioned medicine. So I hope this doesn't get a flag. Guys, thanks for watching. I love you very much, and I'll speak with you again soon. Fucking PlayStation, man. Get your shit together.